in Iran. Does Pezeshkian have authority across the country?
Well, within his very same speech, he's indicating that the IRGC were doing their own thing, in contrast to what was planned within the political elite themselves. We are fully aware of those divisions. We are aware of the diversity of opinions and approaches within the political elite in Iran prior to this war. And now we can even imagine a further escalation of those differences with the assassination of Khamenei. The Islamic Republic of Iran was established in 1979. The balance of power, the political structure, and the preparation for having an alternative supreme leader once a current supreme leader would lose the position or die or get assassinated in this case, has been always in the background being prepared through the official agencies such as the Assembly of Experts and the other clerics who would be involved. Given the fact that we're still waiting for a new name to be nominated until now, means there is a massive power vacuum. It also means there is a major political intra-elitist differences between the different power structures and houses in the regime in Iran, whether that's between the government, the Basij, the IRGC, or the Marja'iyya, which is the religious establishment in Qum. A lot of these factors are at the forefront of considering the power vacuum in Iran today.
Crystal, your thoughts about that, these diversity in approaches that Zeidon talks about, and this power vacuum that exists in Iran today, how concerning is that as this conflict evolves?
Well, it's concerning for those who want to see some sort of end to this conflict through negotiation and agreement. President Trump has just come out and called for an unconditional surrender of Iran. Well, that begs the question, is there a single decision-making body in Iran right now who could deliver that, even if they wanted to, because of the fragmentation of the power systems, the way that the leadership will now inevitably have been disconnected and these divisions will come out into the open. I mean, going forward, it's very, very risky to bring about a situation in which Iran will start fragmenting in all sorts of ways, leading to potentially civil conflict, the way in which the United States is also trying to deploy Iranian Kurds to have a territorial footprint.
But isn't that what the Americans and
Israelis
Israelis are banking on, this internal chaos that they want Iran to experience?
Well, it sounds like, one is still searching for a strategy here. If they think that the right way to go about this is to promote a situation of complete instability in Iran, it's going to make their jobs to produce peace and security in the region 100,000 times harder, because you're going to have all these weapons dispersed all over a huge country that is Iran with no clear lines of control. It probably means that you will have to have American boots on the ground. So this means that this whole horror show is more likely to continue rather than be brought to a more immediate halt, which I think a lot of people, not just in the region, would like to see.
Zeidon, your thoughts about that, about what the American strategy or lack of strategy is right now, especially when you hear from President Trump that he's going to be expanding this conflict to target other actors or other areas in the region. If there is no clear defined strategy, how does he do that, and how concerning is that?
Well, it seems like Trump was betting on the fact that assassinating the supreme leader of Iran would determine and finalize the situation, similarly to what happened with the toppling of Maduro in Venezuela's case. Israel seems to be pushing the U.S. on the front seat. Netanyahu has a much more different strategy. It seems like that Trump is open to the idea for a regime change in Iran while maintaining the same state institutions. And he did state that in one of his previous statements, that he's open to having many of the current power agencies in Iran to integrate and be incorporated into a potential new political system in Iran. Whereas in the Israeli case, it seems like there is a much more detrimental plan, which is the destruction of the state institutions in Iran. And it seems like the Israeli approach towards Iran is existential, which is an existential destruction. And that seems to be the Israeli approach since October 7, 2023. The outcome of October 7, 2023 has made Israel go on a roll of an existential attacks across the region.
Interesting, Zeidon. Donald Trump said that once Iran chooses an acceptable leader, leader, then they can move on to a rebuilding scenario. Is there an indication today, at this point in time, that Iran could choose someone that could please Donald Trump? Is that a scenario at all right now?
Nothing is impossible, but as of the way things look in the current situation, it seems a bit difficult. The geopolitical and military aspect of the conflict is still very heated. Both sides are still trying to figure out how much they can push further in order to make the conditions less harder on themselves during a potential negotiation in the future.
All right, Chris Doyle in London, your thoughts about how this conflict is going to be